Hello and welcome to National Safe Tractor and Machinery Operation Program. This is brought to you by Cornell Cooperative Extension of Cuba County. Today we're going to discuss a few things. We're going to start with personal dress and discuss PPE, and then we are also going to talk about first aid and hazards. All right, we're going to start with personal dress. Dressing for the work you do and thinking about your safety as you're getting dressed will decrease your chances of having an accident or injury on the job. Avoid wearing loose clothing, dangling jewelry, drawstrings, or long hair. If you have long hair, keep it pulled back under a hat and a ponytail. Remove drawstrings from your clothes like hoodies. Make sure you don't wear sandals or sneakers. They offer very little protection. Make sure you also consider the seasons and the work environment when you're getting dressed. If you're working out in the sun, you should wear long sleeves and long pants and a hat to cover you up so you don't get sunburned. If you're out in the winter, you want to make sure that you stay warm and you're protecting yourself from frostbite. Let's talk about eye protection first. Safety glasses protect you from flying and pointing projectiles. Some of these safety glasses may come with panels over your brow and on your sides to protect you even more. These glasses will help prevent injuries from flying objects, chemicals, dust, and crop debris. Goggles with impact-resistant lenses are recommended to protect against splashes from all types of hazardous liquids. You can also wear face shields to protect against splash, but they will not protect against high-impact hazards like projectiles. Make sure you always wear safety glasses underneath your face shield. Next, we're going to discuss respiratory protection. Agricultural workers are exposed to vapors, fumes, and dust. Prolonged exposure to these hazards can cause long-term respiratory illness and damage to your lungs. I will use my husband as an example. He has been in this field and heavy machinery for over 20 years. He has now developed asthma from not properly protecting himself. So, do not end up like him. You want to wear an air purifying respirator that will filter dust, vapors, and fumes out of the air you breathe. For example, the N95 mask or higher. The number in these represents the percentage of particles that get trapped in the filter. A single strap dust mask is not an approved respirator and offers very little protection. Any approved dust mask will always have two straps. Let's talk about hearing loss. Prolonged exposure to loud noises leads to hearing loss. After many years of not wearing hearing protection in a tractor, my husband can no longer hear very well. A normal conversation has a decibel level of about 60, whereas an airplane taking off will have a decibel level of about 120. Give you a little bit of a range. Prolonged exposure to a decibel level around 85 will lead to hearing loss. Coincidentally, tractor engines idling have a decibel about 85. So riding around in your tractor will lead to hearing loss if you do not protect your ears. So make sure that you wear earplugs or acoustic earmuffs. The preferred ear protection will cover your ear and your ear canal. If you cannot hear a person who is standing 3 feet away from you and talking in a normal voice, make sure you wear ear protection. Other types of PPE include hard hats, hand protection, and foot protection like your steel-toed boots. Let's talk about some hazards, warning signs, and hand signals now. The characteristics of a good hazard sign. They should have a safety alert symbol. That would be the triangle with the exclamation point. It should warn the person of the nature and degree of the hazard or potential hazard. It should provide recommended safety precautions, and it should provide other directions to reduce the hazard. So if you see in these signs, it has the safety alert symbol. It says warning. It tells you why. It tells you that there's deadly gases. It tells you that you must wear hearing protection. And it also tells you what to do. So there's different degrees of hazard signs. Serious potential hazard should be in red. A lesser degree of potential hazard should be in orange and should say warning. And the follow safety instructions should be a caution sign with yellow. Many times the noise from machinery and the distance between workers can lead to a communication breakdown. As a result of this, there is increased risk for injury. So standard hand signals will provide communication to all workers. Make sure you learn the top 11 hand signals for the farm, from starting and stopping an engine, to moving, to raising and lowering equipment, to speed control, to stopping, to left and right turns. Next, we're going to discuss first aid and rescue. So for a safe work environment, you should have safe equipment. You should make sure all your equipment is always in working order and is not posing a hazard of its own. You should have a safe attitude. You should be aware of your surroundings. You should not rush through things. You need to be cognizant and aware of what is going on around you. You should have some kind of first aid and CPR training. The American Heart Association does many trainings for CPR, and it's always a good idea to have somebody that's CPR trained working on the farm. You should also have a fully stocked first aid kit, and we don't talk about those little first aid kits that have like 2 Band-Aids in it. We want a fully stocked large first aid kit. You should also have an emergency action plan. You should know what you're going to do if somebody gets injured, and different kinds of injuries take different plans. You should also have a site map for emergency responders. You should be able to tell them where they need to go. So when you have an emergency and you need to call 911, it's always a great idea to have a plan already written up so that you know what to do and where to tell people to go. You should have directions to your farm that's very specific. You should be able to tell them what's going on with the victim, what kind of condition they are in, how you have given aid so far. And since most of these farms have a lot of acreage, it is really a good idea to have somebody meet the emergency medical personnel at the entrance and take them to the accident area. So make sure you have really good directions to give. Don't panic, and make sure that the person who's calling 911 is familiar with your area. Have someone wait at the road to lead the way, and when you're giving directions, be very specific. Give them landmarks, give them mileage, give them road names so that they can find your farm quickly and easily. Some of the life-threatening injuries that you will see on the farm include trauma, electrocution, severe bleeding, and severe burns. All of these need emergency medical care. So make sure that you stay calm and you're aware of your surroundings. Don't rush because it might put you in danger while you're trying to help your coworker.